welcome to the channel, Crossing the Spiritual Streams. My name is Tandra, and today we're going to do a Tarot Pick-a-Pile card reading, which is going to be timeless, so whenever you run across the video, this should work for you. And today is going to be on what is your next leap forward, or what, maybe some advice on how to leap forward, that kind of thing. So let's see what we have here. We have 4 different piles. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Tarot Pick-a-Pile readings, basically you kind of meditate or focus on the different piles, and whichever one you are most drawn to, that you feel compelled to watch, that's the one that you go to, and then there should be messages for you there. It is possible to feel like you need to watch more than one pile. Sometimes that happens. And a few people sometimes compelled to watch all 4 piles. Every once in a while there are messages in more than one pile for you that you can glean from watching them. So however you feel inclined to watch the video is best for you. That's what you should do. To help you out in picking out whichever pile that you would like here, we have some different frogs that we put with each pile. Pile 1 here has kind of the gray and pink frog. Pile 2 has a frog on a lily pad. Pile 3 kind of has this splayed frog out here. He's kind of already kind of leaped and kind of plopped down here. We have a number 4, which is a frog up in some flowers here, kind of just, chilling, looking like maybe he's getting ready to leap. So there are our piles. Here in a moment, we're going to give you a moment to reflect on the different piles and choose which one or which ones you feel most compelled to watch. We are going to do some charms later on, as well as some oracle spheres in each of the piles. And the timestamps for each pile will be down in the description so that you know how to get to your pile when you're ready to go watch it. Right before we get to the chance for the meditating, I would like to invite you all to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of future videos that we put out. And when you watch your video, if you like it, to please give it a thumbs up, because that's very important to the channel, and we greatly appreciate those gestures that you can do for us. Okay, we're going to give you a moment or so to reflect on these piles, and we'll see you at your reading. Hello, Pile 1, and welcome to your reading on what your next leap forward should be, or how to get there. And you guys are the ones that chose the gray and pink froggy. And remember, we're going to do some charms later on, as well as the oracle sphere, so you can be maybe thinking of the question that you'd like to have answered. And we'll get some ideas here. All right, let's see here. First of all, our message is Indigo and Crystal Children. This is from Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Okay, so your next leap forward might have something to do with children, or dealing with children, or teaching children, or working with children in some way, shape, or form. So let's see what the tarot cards have to say on that, but that might be just one specific message there for you already. All right, we have the Hanged Man. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Death card. We have the King of Wands. A couple different kings here. We've got Judgment. And the Page of Wands. The 10 of Cups. The Ace of Swords, and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, I can see right away children is definitely involved here a little bit with the 7 of Pentacles cards. And we have the Ten of Cups, which also shows happiness with children. Um, and even this Hanged Man, I almost get the feeling of children or birth of some way, shape, or form, because you see how she's kind of cocooned in these feathers here in the wings. It's almost like a birth or a new birth. So, and we also have the Death card and Judgment, and those to me show a big change coming. Almost like something, you know, a, a death and a rebirth. Okay. And so I think birth or dealing with children in specific, but I think for some of you, maybe even a good portion of you watching this particular video, that there might be a new life coming into. You're going to give birth to something new, and specifically probably children. I do feel like this is almost very literally a birth of a child or children into your family, kind of thing. That is definitely a big leap, and that is definitely a big leap forward. So if you've been contemplating having children or trying to have children, or you'd like to have children in the near future, I think that that is definitely probably your next leap forward. That's probably your next step forward in your journey in this life and how we're going forward. Because, we do have the Ten of Cups with the, happy family. We have, the giving birth here. We have the Indigo Children card, that kind of thing. So I just kind of see, and even the Hanged Man, this particular Hanged Man, instead of being in a predicament or trying to get out of something new or different, I just see in this particular, the imagery on this card just shows me more of the new birth, or giving birth, or dealing with that. So I feel like a lot of you guys, that is definitely where we're going with this. We're definitely, children play a part in this in one way, shape, form, or another. So if you're not literally giving birth or going to be pregnant or, coming forward, then you're going to give birth to some new ideas, some new things. And this could be financially related. With this King of Pentacles here. But if, once again, this particular card is showing some difference. We have the Wheel of Fortune, which, so this could be financially related as well with the Wheel of Fortune. A lot of times the Wheel of Fortune just shows that things are changing up and you could be moving forward with a new season of your life, or a new, coming forward kind of thing. It's almost interesting how this Judgment card too, of course, has some children in it, but it almost looks like she's holding a baby here, which I've never noticed in this card before or even paid attention to. And she's not, this is just her robe going forward, but it really looks almost like she's holding a baby. So it's interesting how babies and birth and all is such a huge portion of this reading. For some reason it just keeps coming forward over and over again for this reading. And it's interesting too how this particular frog has pink on it, and it's also kind of a grayish blue, so you almost think of baby colors or different things that you might get with a baby. So that's just coming through so strong, and I'm just have to say it, and I'm just going to keep doing it, because I just think that is a huge thing for most of you. That's just really big. For those of you that is not the case for, because there's bound to be some of you guys that are going to be giving birth to something else besides a child. Just know that is a big, that this is going to be like your child. Whatever it is you're giving birth to will be like a child to you. So if it is not a specific child, then working with children is very important. Look at this Page of Wands. You notice how she's a youth. She's trying to plant her staff in the ground. The page is, very much full of new ideas and adventure and that kind of thing. But it's interesting how in this particular deck, it's almost like teaching a child, or, you know, part of the Big Brother program, or dealing with a child, help shape a child in their future and what they think and how they grow. And saying in particular that you can help children who are very sensitive or whatever. And with the wands cards are very sensitive type of individuals, because they're very fiery and passionate and full of spirit. But so maybe if you're, let's say you're too old to give birth yourself at this point, so this reading would not apply to you in that sense of you giving birth, then maybe it's important for you to go out and connect with some children, maybe some at-risk youth, or whatever. You notice how we have the Ace of Swords here and how they're meditating. And swords cards deal with new ideas or imparting knowledge and power, and aces are kind of a new beginning. So maybe you could give birth to a new youth group, or you can impart some new ideas onto the next generation, some of your ideas and some of your strength and knowledge and things that you've learned now over time, and you can impart that to these different groups. So that's kind of children are a big part of this particular reading. And your next step forward and your next leap forward would be dealing with children in some way, shape, or form. Either giving birth to children, because that's kind of, you know, the next step for a good portion of you, or giving rise to showing how your strength, you know, because we have the couple of kings here. We have the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. And the kings are kind of at the top of their game. They've kind of hit the big, and they're showing leadership and vision and those kinds of things. And so maybe being a leader of children is your next leap forward, if it's not literally giving birth to children. Guiding children, helping, you know, a group with children, being kind of the strong leader in that group, imparting your knowledge, your leadership bills, your vision, like what your vision of what the world could be like, imparting that to the next generation, or showing the next group how they can move forward in those skills, how they can take what their vision of the world and what it should be, and, you know, basically be this page and impart that knowledge out to the rest of the world. So you bringing forth your new ideas, you're working with children so they can bring forth their ideas. I think that's kind of an important thing for this group. I feel like that is where your next mission in this life basically is dealing with children, is working with children, helping them see their goals, nurturing them, imparting your wisdom that you've learned in this life already to them. That's kind of a big thing. So let's kind of get some charms here. See if we have any future knowledge that might be imparted through the charms, or some visions. And also we have the Oracle spheres coming up. So think of some different, a question that you might be able to ask that has a yes or no type of answer involved with it. So like if you're wanting to know what's your next leap forward and you want to know with dealing with children, you might ask a question like, you know, should I, you know, start something on YouTube that's helpful for children? That could be a question. Or should I get involved with my local youth group at church? That's a question. Or, you know, there's thousands of different questions you can ask, but if it's relating to this reading, and the reading says that it should go with children, then maybe you'd want to know something with that with children. Or if it's giving birth, you know, am I going to give birth to the child in the upcoming year? That's a question. You know, there's lots of different questions, and it doesn't necessarily have to deal with children or with this specific pile. But since you're wanting to know what your next leap forward is, maybe, you know, there's something that you had in mind that, you know, you wanted to do, or something that you thought you should do. At first I thought it might deal financially with with some of you guys, and maybe you should put your finances towards starting a new group or youth group or whatever. And I thought with the Wands cards, it might have something to do with, maybe, starting your own business or something, or creative, but they didn't really go down that path for most of you. But, you might have some questions specifically that can be answered with the oracle spheres. But let's look at our charms here and see if we have any specific charms that might leap out for some of you, or some messages here that might go there. And let's see where we're at here. Okay. We have a few different letters here that might form some specific messages. Ooh, rage. That came out at me, and I could see some youths and some young people having a lot of rage. So maybe dealing with that would be something very good for you guys. But we have some different letters here. We have R, E, G, A, N, and M. Those can spell lots of different, because I also kind of get mage from that. So being, kind of that mage, once again, that wise and old figure, could be important. There's lots of words that can be formed with this that could be very helpful to you guys. So, hey, if you all come up with any words that you come up with out of this, type them in the comment section so that other people can maybe, get their keywords out of this. I also get manger. So, you kind of think of, dealing with a baby in the manger kind of thing. So lots of different words that can be formed with that. We also have a P. Wow, we have lots of letters this time. Normally we don't get that many letters. We also have a P and a T that kind of come up with this. So there are lots of different words that can be formed. And if there's any that come out at you, or any that, are striked with you with those letters, that might be a message specifically for you guys to come up with, because normally we don't get that many letters. So let's see what other particular messages we might get here. We do have a few cards and a tarot card here, so we'll look at those here in a second. We also have a message of inspire, so that's really cool, because that kind of goes along with inspiring children or inspire other people with what you have to do. We also have the Santa Claus figure, which kind of deals with children a lot too, and the balloons. So that's really interesting, how you might give inspiration to children, or how there's different people that become Santa Claus at Christmas time for children. And that's interesting how, they can do that, and they can be inspiring to those children, and they can help them dream their dreams and do other stuff. I also have a message here for, this has been coming through in so many readings lately, and I just feel like, but because of these two specific charms, one's not been showing up, but the other one has. But they are messages from passed on loved ones and whatnot. But since this message dealt with children, and specifically, it's possible that some of you have suffered a loss of a child, or a miscarriage, or some other loss that way recently. And so your heart obviously is very much dealing with that as well. And these are just nice rainbow messages from those children, and from spirit that way. And what I get from that, with this rainbow and the clouds, it's kind of, everything's okay. We're up here. It's okay to go on and have other children and be inspired with other children, or dealing with other children. We also have the made with love, which goes along with that as well, that, you made those children out of love, and the love is still there and still with you. I get that message with those charms specifically for those of you that have been dealing with that, or for those of you who have not suffered that kind of loss, but or might be dealing with having a pregnancy or a child soon. This is just kind of showing that's kind of reinforcing that a child might be coming soon, or that you might get pregnant soon. So that kind of message is for those specific groups of people. There, we also have the Two of Hearts, which is the coming together of two people and sharing their heart. We also have the Six of Hearts, which is a wonderful family giving two children type of image. One of the tarot decks that we have actually shows, you know, somebody giving. Matter of fact, a lot of times the Six of Hearts, which is the Six of Cups, will the Six of Pentacles too will show that. But the Six of Hearts is kind of children playing out, you know, outside and gathering up buttercups and flowers and other things and filling up their cups. And so it just shows once again that a child will help fill up your cup. We also have these wonderful kitties here. And this is kind of a donkey as well, or some other, you know, type of animal, llama or something. But you notice how he's purple and he's very, you'd almost decorate children's rooms with these kinds of things, and how, you know, confident and, you know, childlike they are. We also have the mermaid here. So these are all very just whimsical. So your whimsical ideas, your you know, bringing that kind of inspiration and whimsical ideas. And we also have, you know, I think of you know, we've got the heel here, and I think of dress up. So I think of childhood type of memories of playing dress up and pretending and doing those things. We also have the number 1, which once again is a new idea, new inspiration. It's bringing up new ideas. And we do have a tarot card here. Let's see if I can figure out which particular one it is. I was not going to use these in here because they were so small, but they ended up coming up in there. Okay. This is not able to be discerned what it is, so I'm going to pull it out here. But it's interesting. I can see some pentacles and some rainbows in this card, so I think that just kind of, you know, shows, you know, that whole rainbow thing. Let's get an answer to our question here on our oracle spheres. We have 4 different stands that we picked here so that your answer can go on your particular stand of whichever one you're most drawn to. But we have the black, the bronze, the gray, and the blue. And it says 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first answer is for the black one is not likely. Okay, for the bronze one, it is a yes. Yay! Hopefully, yay. Anyway, depending on your question, I suppose. And number 4 or 3, which is the gray one, is probable. And then the number 4 blue is not now, which is not a definite no. It just means that the time isn't right this minute. But maybe if things change or circumstances are a little slightly different, that maybe in the future your answer might be something different. Okay, that's the messages we have for this reading today. I really enjoyed doing this reading. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please remember to share this video with your friends and family on all the different social media so that maybe they can pick a pile and get some messages for themselves. And also give the video a thumbs up. Leave comments in the comment section. All of those things are very useful to the channel. It helps YouTube decide to share our videos with other people, and it helps the channel grow, and they're all greatly appreciated. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description to PayPal that you can do that with. And we look forward to seeing you. Oh, well, I just wanted to also remind you all to check out our other videos on the channel. I forget to do that sometimes, but there's a lot of other videos out there that might be of interest to you. There's flip-throughs of different tarot decks. There's informative videos on how to read tarot cards. There's also a lot of other timeless pick-a-pile tarot card readings that you might enjoy. Looking at different ones that, you know, might strike you that you might want to see. So just wanted to remind you all to do that. And we look forward to seeing you in future videos, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. And this is on your next leap forward, or advice on how to, you know, get leap forward, that kind of thing. So we've got our frog here. He's on the lily pad, and he's, you know, kind of looking like he's, you know, ready to go somewhere. So let's see what we've got here. All right, let's take a look we are going to do some charms later on. We're also going to do our oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of a yes/no type of question that you might want an answer to. And let's see what we've got here. Passion. Archangel Haniel. Trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and your career. Okay, so that's kind of a message already. You know, follow your passion and what you're passionate about, especially in your love life and your career. So let's see what kind of answers we have here. We have the Chariot. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, these kind of go along with that right away. The Queen of Cups. The Six of Pentacles. The Death card. The Four of Swords. The Princess of Wands. Oops. The Six of Swords. And the Eight of Wands. Okay, we go here just a bit. Well, we definitely have the career passions showing up here right away with these cards right here. And we have, you know, the other side. Okay, so it's interesting how our oracle card kind of just, you know, is directing the whole reading for sure, because the cards kind of go along with it. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. And the Pentacle cards quite often do go along with our career in a lot of ways. And it's interesting how this Eight of Pentacles, whenever I see the Eight of Pentacles, it almost always shows them hard at work at something, working very hard and, you know, spending a lot of work time on something. And so, and this definitely, I mean, look, it's kind of, you know, late at night. They've got the candle burning. They're, you know, she's polishing it up. She really, really cares about her work and what she is working on, and what, you know, she definitely is spending a lot of time doing that. And so I think your next leap forward is if you have a newfound passion for your career, if you've embarked on a career that is something that you really, really care about, you're very passionate about, you want to spend a lot of time on it, you want to spend a lot of time working on it, fiddling with it, now is the time to do that, because that'll leap you forward. That is your next leap forward in your life and what you want to do. If you want to know what your next leap forward in your career is, I think focusing on it greatly and spending a lot of time with it is probably your next leap forward in that. Just spending the time to do that, I think will help you progress in your career and what you're passionate about. It's interesting how the Six of Pentacles here just shows that he's done so well, that he has enough money to give away to children and do other things with. And so I really feel like doing what you care about in your career and spending your time on your career and maybe almost an inordinate amount of time on your career, like, you know, like I said, working late, spending time on it, polishing things up, perfecting it, that kind of thing will help you get, you know, the riches and things that's involved with your career. It's interesting too how it might be important to follow your passions and where you're being led to go, because we also have the Death card, the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Princess of Wands. And it's interesting how with these particular ones, what I see here is that there might have been a change in your career, or you're worried about your career or other things. The Four of Swords is taking a rest and taking a break time, but it's also, the Swords cards often will show worries and things that we're worried about, and fours deal with our home life and other stuff. So if you've spent a lot of time in your career and working really hard in your career and moving forward, then it might be time to take that rest and take that break and spend more time at home. And so, you know, there's kind of, it's interesting how there's lots of different energies going on in this reading, because there's the career energy, and then there's the home life, and your love life kind of passions going on, and I feel like they might be conflicting with each other. So I think you all are going to need to pay attention to your own heart and what your own feelings are here as to whether you should spend it on your career or on your home and love life, okay? Because I think it can go either way, but I don't think it can go both. Even though this card dealt with both, it says your love life and your career. I kind of don't see this being something that can go both ways. And that's kind of interesting how the Oracle card kind of went and made it seem like it could. But I really feel like with the cards we have here, you're going to have to focus on one or the other. And you're going to have to follow your heart as to which way is best for you. And the Chariot card can help you with that, because the Chariot is going to move you forward. But you notice how this particular Chariot has the moon on it and the wise owl, and she almost has, you know, the lantern almost like with the moon card, or so following your intuition, I think, is going to be really important here. The Queen of Cups kind of shows that too. So I really think that you guys are going to need to follow your heart and your messages. We have the Eight of Wands as well. So I really think that you guys have been dealing with some things. And here is kind of the scenarios that can be laid out here. Okay, we have that you've been working very hard on your career, working so hard that you've been focused on your career and on nothing else. And now might be the time to focus on, you might have, you know, because we have the Six of Swords here. So maybe, and we have the Four of Swords. Like I said, the fours deal with our home life. So that might have been causing some danger in your home life, in that you were spending so much time on your career that you weren't focusing on your home life. And now we have some dangers that we're facing here with the Six of Swords, the Four of Swords, you know, time to rest kind of thing, the Death card. So you might be spending so much time on your career that might be time to focus on your home life now because of that. That's scenario one, okay? And that might be kind of, you all are going to know which scenario you fit into. You're going to say, yep, that's me. Okay, so you're going to feel that. So that's scenario one, that you focus so hard on that you need to pull away from that and work on the dangers, because you're in danger of losing your home life because of it. Okay, like, you know, we see this princess, you know, she's got her rose here, she's holding it, she's waiting for him to come home. He hasn't been coming home. He's been so busy. He's been out on his campaigns or whatever. And so she's kind of disappointed here, okay? And so I kind of see that with all of these cards. So that's scenario one. Scenario two is that you have lost your job recently, and it was a job that really wasn't meant for you. The Chariot card is kind of showing that too, that it's time to move forward with that. And so because of that, you can now focus on a new career, and you can spend some time on that, and that will be a good thing for you, because that's getting you out of some dangers here. You've had, it'll give you a chance to respite, which is the Four of Swords, that you get out of, you know, some of this danger that you were in, because you were in a career that wasn't really good for you. And so now you can move forward. You've got the Chariot, you know, you've got a newfound passion in your career. You're going to be happier in your new career. You can spend some time doing that. And that's kind of the scenario number two, is that you've lost your career, or you're contemplating quitting your career and moving forward in a new career because you found new passions in a new career that you're real happy with. So that's scenario number two for those of you. And then we have scenario number three. which is that your career is going along okay and just fine. Nothing really special going on there. But you also have a newfound passion in your love life. You have the Two of Swords shows that. The Princess of Wands shows that. We've got the Death card. So once again, it's something has ended, and now you've got newfound passions, and this can show that as well with the Oracle card. And we have the Queen of Cups here, and so you've gotten some messages. I see maybe some messages coming through here, like maybe some love letters or some other messages. Are you waiting on some messages from the person that you care about in your family life, in your love life, and you're waiting on those messages to come forward here? And when they do, it's going to help renew and give you a new springboard. So that's kind of our three scenarios here that this can be. And like I said, you're going to feel which one kind of feels right for you. But I'm thinking your intuition is going to be really strong in this. It's going to really help you decide which way you need to go here. I'm thinking taking a break was a really good thing. Get out of some of those things, that I think you've been fighting a lot of things are kind of coming on and hitting you kind of hard. And that's kind of at your back right now. You've been able to move forward from that a little bit and go forward a little bit. You're getting that break time. You're getting that respite. These things have gone forward, and basically the things that you've been dealing with have they're a little farther in the past a little bit. So for those of you that are kind of in scenario 3 a little bit, where or even maybe scenario 4 a little bit, where you dealt with a lot of things a lot of big changes, and a lot of dangerous situations, a lot of stuff that kind of moved you forward. You've got the Death, the Four of Swords, the Six of Swords, waiting for your loved one here and they didn't come back. Those things are in the past for you now, though. They've happened a little bit in the past, couple, 3, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So you've dealt with these situations. You've been dealing with them ongoing. You've been dealing with them, but they're kind of moving forward now. You're kind of in the moving forward energy. So we've got our 4 different scenarios. We have you're working really, really hard on something you found new passion for, and that kind of thing. You've got the scenario where you're working too hard, and so that's caused problems in your home life. And we have the scenario where you want to work on dealing with a newfound passion with a loved one that you found, and that waiting on messages from them. And then we've got the scenario where you've dealt with the losses and the trials and tribulations and the dangers and some other things, and now you're ready to move forward. So we kind of have the 4 different scenarios here. So it's kind of a muddled reading, and I know it's been kind of muddled, and I'm sorry about that, but sometimes that happens when we have lots of different people watching a reading. But this does deal with your career and your home life and your love life, kind of all mixed together. So if that doesn't resonate with any of you, then maybe this wasn't the right pile, but I really feel like that's really dealing with what you've all been dealing with. So your next leap forward is you have a renewed passion in either your career or your love life. It could be both, but I'm thinking it's one or the other. And that you've been dealing with a lot of things going on, and you're not sure. It could be the loss of your career, loss of your loved one, maybe even both. But that basically your intuition is going to play a key role in this, and that you need to follow your intuition, and that's how you're going to get your renewed passion in either your career or your love life, family life kind of thing. And if you follow your intuition, that's how you're going to go forward. Okay, follow what your intuition is telling you to do. You've got the Wise Owl, you got the Chariot card. It's able to move you forward. And your intuition is really, really, really important with this. So once again, your intuition is going to tell you what this reading was about, whether it's about that you need to follow your career or you need to slack off and take a rest from your career just slightly and work a little less hard and focus on your family life, or your intuition is telling you, what you need to wait on. So I think our charms are going to be really important here. So we're going to get some charms, and also don't forget your Oracle Sphere question. But I think our charms are going to be important messages here for you guys. I think the tarot cards just kind of helped us get to our specific, what group we're in here. But I think our charms are going to help us maybe get our messages that we're looking for here. Okay, so let's get our charms here to see where our messages might be for our specific groups that we have here, whether you're the one that's working too hard and need to focus on family more, or whether you've found newfound passion in your career and you need to work really, really hard at your career right now. That's what you need to do. Or if you're the ones that have been dealing with a lot of things in the past, a lot of losses, a lot of hardships, a lot of other things, and how can you move forward now? So it's kind of our groups that we're dealing with here. So let's see what kind of charms will come forward for you guys. Okay, oh, we got one stuck to our finger here, so we're going to take that one. We got a lot of letters here, which is good. We got L and O and O and, well, it's a Q, sorry. L-O-O, O and a Q. And then we have an R and G. Okay, and an E. So lots of different letters here, a T and an E. So it was interesting. The first pile had lots of letters too, which we haven't been having a lot of lately. So we can spell lots of words with that, which can be very useful. So if there is any words that pop out at you there, hey, leave them in the comment section, because maybe some other people can get some good information from those. And we have some cards and some tarot cards here. So let's go through and let's see what kind of images and things we have. First of all, we do have the letters. Let's see if I've got anything that comes through with the letters myself here that might be specific messages for some of you. I have gone, but it's interesting how I have an L-O-E here without the V, but I still feel like love is still there. So the kind of the message I've got here with these charms, with these words was, I'm gone, but I still love you. I'm still there. Okay, so I think that's for some of you guys specifically. I think, oh, wow, okay. Okay, I am not getting any other specific words popping out at me right away, so I really feel like it's up to you guys to be putting some words out there, or for you guys to spell specific words that strike you with these group of letters. Once again, we have a T, 2 E's, a G, 2 O's, an L, an R, an N, and a Q. So there might be some specific words that pop out for you guys there. So that's where I think might be important there for you guys. Now, let's see. We do have some other cards here that might be specific messages for some of you guys. We have the Jack of Diamonds, which is kind of the Knight or Page of Diamonds. We have the Queen of Hearts, the Three of Hearts, and the Nine of Hearts. So this is kind of the love and heart and things that, are important to your heart. We have the Three of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, and the Nine of Hearts. These are the Cups cards, okay? And that deals a lot with your relationships, your intuition, your subconscious, and your emotions, okay? So once again, your intuition is very important here. So if your intuition has been telling you something, because we also have the Wolf card, which has showed up in earlier with the Chariot, and it's also an intuition card. If your intuition has been telling you something, if you have been getting messages from your intuition saying, hey, I really feel like I need to go here and do this, or I need to go follow this dream, or this whatever. If your intuition has been telling you something, then follow it by all means, because that is an important message for all of you in this reading, no matter what group you fell into, no matter what ones you were doing, whatever, no matter what, they're following your intuition is the important message for all of you, okay? And the Nine of Hearts kind of shows that as well. It's another intuition card. It's another creative card. The Queen of Hearts, wow, you know, she has lots of perspective on things. She can put a lot of information to you. But I really feel like with the hearts, the intuition is just the important thing here. Hearts also deal a lot with our relationships. So for those of you that need to deal with your family relationships, or deal with your home life and with your loved ones more, you know, we have the Queen here, which is kind of the uppermost person here. So, and we have the Three, which is a creative energy a little bit. And so I think being creative with your home life can be very important. Following your dreams. If you have a creative idea that you've been wanting to follow for your work, if your intuition is telling you to do so, if you feel like now is the time to strike and do that, then by all means do it, because I really feel like that's an important thing. Because we do have the money bags figure here as well, and the money bags often deals with our career and our finances and other things. And so for those of you that really feel like your career, I'm getting a message to follow your career path that you've been wanting to follow, and that your intuition is telling you to follow. Okay? So if you have had an idea, and I kind of get it here with this here as well. If you have had an idea of something that you've been wanting to do, and this is kind of a summer potion. It's a she shell, but for some reason I always think of potions when I see this charm. And summertime, and just getting out there and having fun, and go to the beach, and all that kind of energy. So I just feel like that happy-go-lucky, yay, let's run out there and let's follow that whole energy. I think of summertime as, you're building sandcastles, and you're basking in the sun. You have seashells. There's the whole promise here of everything. And we also have the Sun and the Moon card here, which once again kind of following the intuition, but also the sun, which is having the sun shine on you, and the sun showing a light on the things that your intuition is telling you to do. And it's interesting too how we have the kind of the crab, the happy-go-lucky crab, so in sunshine in the summertime. So I feel like career-wise for you guys, that it's a good idea to follow your heart and what your heart has been telling you to do. And if that has been a creative pursuit for some of you, you should definitely do that, because we also have the Wands card here that's showing that, as well as our Cup card here. We have a couple of different tarot cards here that are showing that. We have the Wands card, kind of the Two of Wands energy, and this Cup card here. So I really feel like follow your intuition. I keep hearing that over and over and over and over and over again. So like I said, the charms were going to be important for this reading, and I feel like the intuition is an important thing, because by following your intuition, you're going to be able to have this explosion of happiness and cheerfulness, and your sun shining on you. And so that goes with your loved one as well. If there's somebody that you've been kind of wanting to date or see, or or go with, and your intuition has kind of been nudging you along that lines, but you haven't really followed it yet, do so. Because that's your next leap forward, is to do that. That is your next thing, is following where your heart is telling you to go and your intuition is telling you to go. We do have the forever and the wonderland words here, which those are kind of, I get those as messages again, once again, from spirit and passed on loved ones and stuff. We also have the heart, the cross here. So that's kind of just the spirit messages of, we're here, we're watching, we're blessing your theory, what you're thinking of, and those are just coming through of, don't forget, follow your intuition, and we're here with you, and we're going to help guide you, and we're going to oversee you, and just feel like we're along with you. We also have the music, and it takes a big heart to teach little minds. If you were drawn to Pile 1 at all, and you've been thinking about children or dealing with children, please watch Pile 1, because there's a lot of messages there for you, I believe. That just kind of came through with that. But we also have the music symbol here, dealing with music, and those two kind of go together with teaching for me, or teaching of creative ideas and arts and so forth. And once again, that kind of goes along with Pile 1. But if you've been wanting to reach out to children, or talk to children, or work with children, or have some children that are coming forward in your life, definitely pay attention to them, because I think that they're very important in your life right now, and that's something that you want to do. We do have our oracle spheres here, and if you've been thinking of a question, a yes or no type of question that you want an answer to, like, is it the right time to do something, or should I do this, or is this going to come to me in the next week or two, or whatever question has been something that you've been wanting an answer to, a yes or no type of answer to, then we're going to try to get our answers now. So we have Pile 1, which is the gray stand, Pile 2, which is the blue stand, Group 3, which is the black stand, and Group 4, which is the bronze stand. So we're going to get answers for each one of these stands. So whichever stand that you feel like will have your answer, then that's what we're going to go do. So we're going to have our first answer here for number 1, gray, is not now. So that's not a definite no. It just means that time isn't right this minute, but things might change, and then the answer will come and change. Number 2 is not sure. So that might mean that there's other things that are clouding the issue, that there's other factors that kind of need to play out before the answer can become more clear, or that maybe your question wasn't really clearly asked. So it could be either of those. Number 3 is a no. And number 4 is a yes. Okay, so gray is not now, blue is not sure, black is no, and bronze is yes. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 there. So there's your answers to your Oracle Sphere question. And hopefully, I know this reading was slightly muddled, but hopefully there was some answers here for you, or some ideas of what you can do. And like I said, the biggest thing, the biggest answer here is follow your intuition. Okay, that was the biggest thing that came through. No matter what else came through in the reading, is no matter what group you were in or what you were thinking, is follow your intuition. Okay, and I just felt like I need to say it again, so I'm saying it again. And hopefully that was helpful to you, and that you liked the reading. Please check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of other Tarot Pick-a-Pile readings on some different subjects that might interest you. If you haven't watched those yet, or if one of them strikes you to watch, most of them are timeless, so whenever you come across them, it would be good to watch those. Share this video with your friends and family. Put it out there on all the different social media platforms. And let them know that this video is out there, so that they can check out the video on the channel as well. Also give the video a thumbs up and leave comments in the comment section. All of these things are very useful to the channel. It helps YouTube decide to share the video with other people, and it helps the channel grow. And also the comments are very useful for me, because it helps me know what you like and don't like, and what's useful in the reading to you, and what we can do, or what other readings you'd like to see, or other things. So All of those are just very useful to the channel and to me personally, and I'm very grateful to all of those, and I'm very grateful to all of those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of future videos. Okay, we're going to see you in future videos, and we look forward to see you in those, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. And this is on your next leap forward, or what you can do to leap forward. And you guys are the ones that chose the frog that's kind of splayed out here just a little bit. Big old grin on his face, but it looks like he might have already leaped once and kind of needs to get himself back in position to do again. But here we go. He's kind of a cute little frog. I kind of like him. We're going to do some charms later, and we'll also have our oracle spheres, so you can be thinking of your question that you're going to ask, and let's see what our cards have to say. We got Counselor, Archangel Azrael. You are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. Okay, so that's a good message right there, just to know that you're a good counselor, and that might have something to do with this reading specifically that we got going on here. All right, so let's see what we have. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Ten of Wands, the Chariot, the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Temperance card. Okay, well, right off the bat, before we say anything else, is I really think that you guys have been going through a ton of stuff. There has just been so many things going on. You've had burdens you've had to carry, you've had battles you've had to fight, you've had wishes that haven't come to fruition, you've had your hard work rained on, you've had, I mean, just a myriad of things have just come down upon you, okay? And what's interesting about the group of cards that we have here that kind of show that is that no matter what you've had to endure, no matter what you've dealt with, you've actually gained a lot of wisdom from it. We have the owl up here with the Ten of Swords cards. You know, he's up underneath this mushroom to help protect him against these problems. And you also have some resources that have come from this as well. Like, okay, it's raining here and she can't get out, but her cups are being filled with water. It's raining here and he's underneath the mushroom, but he still has these pentacle resources here at his feet. She has some big burdens to carry because she's got all these wands, but it's not more than she can do, and she has the wands to show for it as well. So everything that you've gone through so far gives you a lot of perspective, a lot of knowledge, a lot of just life experience, if nothing else. And so because of that, that might make you a really good counselor for other people, and it might be a good idea to take some of your information that you've learned, some of the hardships that you've had to endure and what you've learned from it, and be able to turn that around and help other people with it. I really feel like that might be kind of maybe the next step in this journey that you've been going on. Helping other people through what they're going through will help you, first of all, heal from all of this. But by being a really good counselor, because it says you're a natural counselor, many people could benefit from this. And I think the wisdom that you've gained from all that you have gone through will help people so much. And it's interesting here because this Two of Swords I see as a guidance card, in that, you know, you think of seers and people who know things. Sometimes you think of in Eastern tradition like blindfolded people, or like in Greek tradition or something, sometimes they're blind seers. And you notice how the crescent moon's kind of in the background here. So I almost see this particular Two of Swords as kind of a guidance card as well. Like, you know, being able to figure out which way to go. And so you can help other people do that. The Chariot card kind of also symbolizes that, because you can help people move forward. But we also have the two here with the two different horses. And so you can kind of help see the right path and which way to go. The High Priestess can definitely do that. Temperance is another balance card. So I think one of the things that you need to do, even if you don't go to help counsel other people, but I think this goes along with it, is get some balance back into your life again. Things have been so out of balance. You've gone through so much over the last month, 2, 3, 4, maybe even the whole last year. You've gone through so many things that your life has been out of whack and out of balance and just, totally lopsided one way or the other. And with the Chariot and the Temperance and the High Priestess and the Two of Swords, these cards that we have going on here, even the Six of Pentacles is kind of a balanced energy, in that it's time to get balance. And I think one way to do that is maybe help counsel other people. Because sometimes when we talk to other people, our problems kind of start to diminish a little bit. They kind of go, they spread out a little bit more, because now we're not bearing that burden just by ourselves and on our own, and we're able to kind of disperse it a little bit. And also by helping others, we often help ourselves. There's an old saying, one of the things I love to do is teach. Teaching is one of my favorite things to do. And one of the things I'd always heard with teaching and learning teaching and other things is that you learn the craft best when you can teach it to other people. And that's very true, because by teaching it, you actually learn more from it than by being a student. And I'm thinking that for you to help get more balance back into your life and help get that perspective back and figure out what you've learned from these experiences and how you can go forward, by counseling and helping other people through their problems, it's kind of like that teaching scenario where you can learn about yourself and how to deal with your own life the most by helping others with theirs. Okay? So I really feel like that is kind of where you guys are at the point where things need to get back into balance again a little bit more. And I think by helping others, that balance will naturally occur. That will help tip the scales more into a balanced nature. And so I think that's where you guys are going. Let's get some charms here. We also, don't forget that you have your Oracle Sphere question that you can ask here, and we'll get answers to that here in just a moment. But let's look and see if there's any specific charms that we might do here. Ooh, got a lot of them. Okay. We have the Moon and the Stars, which automatically just shows me it's another intuition one. And there was another pile that actually showed you need to use your intuition some as well. But I kind of see that too as a guiding light in our emotions and dealing with our emotions. I kind of see you guys as being kind of the guiding light. We also have a 3. 3s are creative energy. They're also group energy. So I once again see counseling, like group counseling or working in groups. Dealing with, the outside world and outside groups right now is really important. So I kind of see that with that 3 there. We have the 4 of Hearts and the 5 of Diamonds. The 5 of Diamonds is the 5 of Pentacles again, which is showing here. And then the 4 of Hearts, once again, it's another balanced energy. It's another emotional energy. And I'm thinking that's, the 5 of Diamonds is kind of where you're stuck right now, where you're still feeling rained on and you're still whatever. But then the 4 of Hearts is more of the balance that you're going to get from that. We have a lot of letters again. Wow, all of the piles have had lots of letters today, which is really kind of cool because I think you can make lots of words. Let's see what letters we have. We have a D, X, Y, F, L, C, E, D, and N. Let's see if there's any words that jump out at me. right off the top of... Nothing really strikes me right off the top of the bat. But you can make a lot of words out of this. And so if you go through and kind of whatever words maybe jump out at you, it might be a specific message for you. That's what's nice about the letters when they show up, is sometimes they're specific letters for specific people. If you go through and can write those words down that you come up with, that might help some other people that watch the video, so that might be nice to do. Okay. It takes a big heart to teach little minds. You know, this came up in another reading today too, but I really like that because that kind of goes along with the counseling. I really think counseling other people, maybe even children, might be a good idea here. And we also have the heart, which also says follow your heart. So that's another big message. If you felt like watching pile 2, if you weren't sure between the two, you might want to watch pile 2 because there might be some messages there. Pile 2 actually had messages for a lot of people. It was kind of a weird pile. But because following your heart and your intuition is very important right now, and that was very important in that pile as well. We have a couple of tarot cards. These kind of smell, but okay. I'm gonna not use the tarot card. Those weren't supposed to be in there. They're so little. They're too hard for me to see. My old eyes here. Okay, let's see. All right, we got a couple of energies here. We got a monkey and we got the anchor. And it's interesting. I instantly heard monkey on my back and anchor is meaning weighted down. And I still feel like you guys are kind of in that energy a little bit. You're still feeling that. You still feel kind of anchored and weighted down. But I think by helping other people, I think you can get through that. And I also feel like young people and teenagers is important here. Because look, we have the rocking horse, which is kind of young children. We have, I think of teenagers when I see the shoe here. We also have the Star of David, which, if you think about how oppressed the Jewish people were and are in some cases, and how much you've dealt with, you know, some of the persecution, some of the things you've been dealing with, I just feel like that just once again shows the wisdom that you can gain, and you can still keep your faith in humanity and other things. We have the dragon energy and the fan. The fan, I almost always think of as innovation, but also new winds blowing or new air blowing through. Then we have the horseshoe and the butterfly and the dolphin. Now, when I see the butterflies and the dolphins and those kinds of energies, I always think of flying free and being free and getting more free of things. And with dolphins, I think of how wonderfully they're very, very smart creatures. They're sea creatures, and they're kind of the big ones in where they're at. I mean, you know, they kind of the big guys, and they're this, you know, one of the most intelligent sea creatures. And once again, I kind of see that as kind of the knowledge and the wisdom that you've kind of, maybe even some hidden knowledge and wisdom that you've kind of grown to get. And then the dragon energy is this fiery, passionate. I think it'll help build up your fiery passions again to go out and help other people and do that. Okay, let's get our oracle spheres here. And you can be thinking of your question and we'll get our answer. Okay, so let's get our oracle spheres. We have 4 different piles here we can choose from. We have blue, gray, bronze, and black. So you pick whichever pile and we'll get your answer to your question here and see where we're at. We got not sure. That just means that there might be some things that still need to play out, so the answer is not real clear yet, or maybe your question wasn't very clearly stated, so it was hard for the universe to answer it. So it could be either way. So there might be some things that might change up the answer a little bit still to play out. Okay, we have not now. It means not necessarily a no. It just means that the time isn't right at the moment, but maybe in the future. And then we have a maybe. And then a yes for the black. So we have blue, not sure, gray, not now, bronze, maybe, black, yes. And that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So those are your answers to your questions there. And hopefully you got some good answers. I really, really like doing that. I hope you guys like that too. Okay, guys, I'm not going to have a whole lot more, I think, for pile 3 here today. Hopefully this reading was useful to you. And if you liked the video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Maybe they can get some messages out of the video as well. Not necessarily this pile, but maybe one of the others. And put it out there on all the social medias and give them a chance to check it out. And check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of different ones out there, lots of different timeless tarot pick a card readings on lots of different topics. We also have videos on how to read tarot cards, and also the flip throughs of the different card decks, so you can see what the different decks look like that we use on the channel. All right, guys. Well, we look forward to seeing you again in the future, and may the stars guide your path. Bye-bye. Pile 4, and welcome to your reading, and this is your next leap forward, or what will help you leap forward. And this is the ones that shows the frog that's kind of up in his little plants here, and he looks like, he's not sure of himself. He's a little hesitant here, but he might be getting ready to do something. So cute little frog there. We've got our charms we're going to do here in a little bit. We also have our Urkel so you can be asking a question, or be thinking of a question that you're going to ask, and hopefully get an answer to that. And let's see what our cards have to say. We got sensitivity, Archangel Haniel. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. Okay, well, that's important to know. So you might be, really feeling some things really, really hard, and it might be just important to go through and realize that, and take some time out for yourself. All right, we have the 8 of Swords. Oh yeah, that's definitely coming through there. The 7 of Wands. Oh my goodness. Okay, the 10 of Cups. The 6 of Cups. The 4 of Pentacles, the Chariot. Wow, the Chariot, I think, showed up in almost every reading today. The Hermit, the Knight of Cups, the 4 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords. Wow, okay. You guys are definitely extra sensitive right now. You guys are highly emotional. You're worried. You got a lot of things on your mind, and I really feel like a lot of it deals with your family, your home life and your family, and you feel threatened and worried. It's interesting, this particular 8 of Swords card, a lot of times the 8 of Swords deals with things that we're worried about, our imagination kind of running away with us and stuff, but this particular one shows a mother with a sickly child, and the swords are threatening her. And a lot of times when I see this card, I actually literally think of an illness. Like you're worried about somebody because they're sick, or you're worried about them getting ill, or they are sick and you're having to take care of them and that kind of thing. And so I really think that a lot of you might be dealing with that, where you're worried about the health of your family. And it could mean physical health, it could mean mental health, it could mean financial health, but it's health in general. You're worried about them, and you feel like you need to protect them. I see that here too with the 7 of Wands. They're sandbagging here. They're worried about the encroaching floods. We've got the 10 of Cups, which normally, means a lot of family cheerfulness and stuff. But once again, you kind of almost can see these guys being protective over their family here. We've got the Six of Cups where he is, or she is giving out, stuff to, a child, helping nurture and take care of them. We got the Four of Pentacles, which is kind of, the hoarding energy of, holding on to money and finances, and in which case, might be to protect the family. Even the Chariot kind of almost shows that. So I really feel like, on the Knight of Cups too, I really feel like you guys feel like you need to protect your family. Okay, that's what I'm getting overwhelmingly. That is an energy going on in your heads right now. That you guys you're worried about your family. Either finances are really tight, or there's big changes that have happened, like with the Five of Swords, or there's threats to your family. You're worried about them getting sick, or natural disasters, or other things, or it could even be unfounded things. It may not even be any real threat right this minute. It could just be you're just really, really worried. Okay, that has to do with you're very sensitive to different emotions and other things. And this is a timeless reading, so you guys may not be watching this during this time frame, but this is an extremely emotional time right now as of when this is being filmed in October of 2020. We are going through a lot of stuff, and have all year. And so it's natural that these feelings would be out there, and that we would have those feelings and be worried and be whatever. But since this is a timeless reading, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, you guys specifically are feeling some of the same way that some of us are feeling right now. So just know that if you've picked this pile, and it's interesting too how this particular frog, he is kind of unsure of himself. He's up here. He looks kind of afraid. He looks kind of worried. He's like, I don't know where to go, what to do. I'm worried. And I really feel like that's where you guys are at right now. And this reading is on your next leap forward and where to move forward. So I think we need to see if we can get some advice on that, because I really feel like right now you guys are really, you're so worried and so afraid that you're almost paralyzed and not able to move forward at this moment. And you're not able to make that leap. And this says that you need to honor that. You need to honor the fact that you are going through a lot of this. You're really worried. You need to honor that. Sometimes people will say, well, don't worry, everything will be fine. Stop worrying. It doesn't do any good to worry. And I say those things all the time myself, because I do know that sometimes if we get stuck in those kind of energies, it doesn't really help much of anything, and it doesn't move us forward. But that being said, first of all, that's easier said than done. Sometimes we get stuck in things and when we can't really move out of it. But other time, what's important to know about that, though, is sometimes those feelings are important. Because if we have those feelings, if we have those worries and those concerns and those things, sometimes those will help us come up with solutions to the problem, or solutions to get us out of this. Sometimes it's needless worrying. Sometimes, we worry about things and there's no reason to be worried. It's just our brain running away with us, and it just things pop into our head and we worry, and that's it. And sometimes that's the case. And it's good to try to just go, okay, it's just my mind running away with me. Everything will be fine. But then there's other times in which worries, there really are real threats and really things to be worried about. And worrying in of itself won't solve the problem or won't fix it. And sometimes will make things worse because we might get stuck in that energy. But it also sometimes will spur us into action if we realize that, okay, I have legitimate worries, I have legitimate concerns. Let me take a breather. We got the Hermit card here. The Hermit, sometimes needs to retreat back just a little bit. Kind of think about things, kind of contemplate things. And then we have the Chariot, which is the leap forward. Okay, so I think that all you really need right now is, first of all, to acknowledge that your thoughts are real and that validate them. Realize that you have a good reason to have them and that it's okay to have them. And go, okay, I need to kind of go off on my own just a little bit. I kind of need to put these into perspective with my life. I kind of need to go on. That the Four of Swords shows that as well, because the Four of Swords is kind of a respite card. It's also the Swords energy, which is, once again, dealing with everything that's going on in your mind and your battles and all this aggressive stuff and all these other things. And the Four is kind of, okay, I need to rest. It's the respite. And the Hermit and the respite. So that is your biggest thing right now, is acknowledge that these exist, but don't let them overwhelm you, for one. And then for two, take some time out to take a breather, take some deep breaths, go for it and go, okay, we got this stuff going on. There's a lot of things happening here. I need, I got these worries. What am I going to do to fix them? And then it's interesting how we have the Knight of Cups, because the Knights are the ones I see as charging in and helping save the day. And you notice how she's got her wolves charging here. She's got her bowcock. She's ready to go. And I feel like just getting a small amount of perspective and rest on this and not let it overwhelm you and paralyze you will help you leap into the action with the Chariot, and also come out with the fighting spirit and be able to fight off all of these foes. This Seven of Wands here, they are, bracing against this. They're doing a solution to solve against this imminent threat. Okay. And then we also have the Ten of Cups, which is, ultimate emotional security and happiness. And so they've been able to protect their family and have this wonderful family. So you guys have the tools to do it, but you need to take that break and just kind of take a breather. But then we have the Knight of Cups, which, I really feel like the Knight of Cups, is the one that can go out and solve these problems, because they are the negotiator of the deck. They're diplomatic, they're tactful. So you can solve these problems. You can move forward from this. Is just don't let it paralyze you, because that's kind of the imagery I've been getting with some of this is at the moment you're kind of paralyzed. And taking the breather, taking the respite, acknowledging the fears and why you feel the way you do, and then go, okay, now we can work on solving this issue. Now we can go forward, because I'm letting myself know that I have these. I'm acknowledging that fact. I'm taking my breather. I'm taking some deep breaths. Commune with nature a little bit if you can. Get out a little bit, and you notice how she's got this harp kind of out here in these woods and stuff, and so she is feeling very sensitive, and she is feeling, I know sometimes the things that are going on in our lives and in the world in general and all together, sometimes we can get very overwhelmed. It can depress us. It can, like I said, it can paralyze. I keep hearing that word paralyzing, where you feel like you can't do anything. You just feel stuck. Like I said, you might get depressed. You might just feel like what's the use? What's the point? And we can get like that sometimes. And especially if there's a lot of things going on that really hammer at that emotion, that really hammer at that feelings that we get from things. It breaks our heartstrings and that kind of thing. And I feel like that's kind of the place you guys are in right now. You're very sensitive to all of those things going on in your life and in the world. And by being able to kind of detach yourself from that and realize that it's not all you, that it's kind of the universe in general right now, and that you're pulling in all of those energies and you're soaking them up like a sponge. And if you can kind of squeeze out that sponge just a little bit and let that water flow out, then you can move forward. Then you can soak up more stuff, because you've been able to release some of what you've been pulling in. Let's pull out some charms here. Let's see if we can get a few other messages that might be useful to you guys. Okay, so we're going to get some charms here, and we're going to see if there's any other messages, but the biggest message I really feel like is acknowledge the fact that you have these fears and these emotions and where you're getting them from, and that it's okay to have them, but don't let them paralyze you. Oh, let's see what other... Okay, so we have the moon and the star, once again, emotions going through there. Let's see. We have a couple of fours. And it's interesting, we have the Ten of Cups and the tarot again. Ooh. Some of these tarot cards are just so small. You just almost can't tell what they are. That's the Ace of Swords. So we have the Ten of Cups and the Ace of Swords here. The Ace of Swords is getting clarity and seeing through things. And then I also kind of see the sword, you know, out like this and the sword. So once again, you can go out and fight that battle. So you can gain some clarity here. We have the sheep and the little kind of like llama donkey thing going on here. We have a heart. We have the star with the love you, love you. We have the Santa Claus, the snake, and inspire. That's it. That's been a good word today for some of the readings. This message was kind of one that was in one or two of the other piles. I think maybe pile 3. But inspire, I like that because with these feelings you've been having, I think if you go and, you know, with these worries and these other problems you've had in your family, if you can go and talk to other people and help them get through some of their problems and stuff, it'll help you out with yours. And that message was, like I said, kind of in pile 3 as well. So if you felt compelled to watch pile 3, you might do that. But I think that kind of message kind of overlapped there just a little bit. These 4s, once again, have to do with family life and stability and those kinds of things. We have the clubs and the spades, which is the swords and the wands card here. We have a sheep and all that. And by these 2 here, once again, I see kind of children and family with this one. And sheep I kind of see as being a sheep and being meek and, you know, kind of just letting things happen to you and just kind of go along. But I feel like that's an energy that's time to get out of that. With these love yous and hearts, it just, you know, I think that just has to do with how much you love your family and they love you and rely on each other right now. I think that's really important. The Santa Claus, is interesting because whenever I see him, I think of childhood dreams and hopes and wishes, but I also think of magical times and all that. And it's kind of interesting because I think you kind of need that right now to be thinking of magical times or be thinking of, you know, not a present so much, but just what you would like to see, how you'd like your life to be, whatever, because, you know, Santa Claus can grant anything. He's Santa Claus. And since you have the Santa Claus here, I kind of feel like, you know, you can be granted anything. You just need to be able to work your way out of the funk that you've kind of been in. And then we have the snake, which in this case I just see as kind of snake in the grass or hidden dangers. You know, it's kind of slithering along the ground. And once again, I think that just has to do with your fears and what you've been worrying about and some of the things that are out there for you and all that. So I kind of think that that's just kind of what that's all about. So once again, acknowledge what you're feeling, acknowledge where it comes from, and then realize that you can still have those feelings and still move forward and progress and make things. So I think that's the biggest thing is you guys acknowledging the fact that you feel this way and that it's okay to feel this way, but that you can still move forward even with those feelings intact. Okay, and then now we've got our oracle spheres here. So your question that you've been asking your yes/no type of question. We have 4 different piles. We have gray, blue, bronze, and black. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to get our answers here. So kind of just pick a stand of which answer you would like to have. Okay, the first one for gray is no. The second one for blue is yes. Very definite answers. Oop. The third one for bronze is maybe. A little bit of everything going on here. Okay, and number 4, black. Ooh, there we got it. Maybe I get it to come out there. Is another yes. All right, so that's our answers to your question there. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you got something out of it. I sure enjoyed doing it, that's for sure. Please give the video a thumbs up and leave comments in the comment section. Let me know what you thought, or if there was anything that was useful to you there. I really hope there was. Let me know any other videos that you'd like to see. Also, check out our other videos on the channel. We have lots of different timeless tarot readings out there on different subjects that might interest you. We also have flip-throughs of different tarot decks so you can see what they look like, as well as courses on how to read tarot cards. So that's out there too. Share this video with your friends and family. Put it out there on all that different social media platforms out there, and then that way maybe some other people can get some messages that might be useful to them. All of those things are very, very, very helpful to the channel. It helps the channel grow. YouTube will decide to share our video with other people if those things are done, and then that will help us, get bigger, which is what we really would like to do. We like to reach as many people as possible, and it's greatly appreciated by me when you guys do all those things. If you'd like to donate to the channel, there's a link in the description to PayPal that you can do that with. Okay, guys, that's all I have for Pile 4 today. We'll see you in future videos. May the stars guide your path. Bye-bye.